People, because basically we were being managed, not allowed to manage our lives. And even up to, even now, we're herded. You know, when you, the point I was trying to make about the way things on the media work, you know, if you want to see some guys with their pants half down and selling drugs, you'll see that on TV every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But you won't see, and you see the hip hop videos. In this way, these things are being pushed, you know, whereby people think this is young people think this is the way to go, when it's really not conducive to.
Not all people, the young people. That's how they're getting it.
Yeah,
they're stopping the education at the future. They're stopping the future by preventing the young people.
Right.
But they've
Well,
always
they're
been doing.
impressionable.
They've always been doing this. It's just another way of doing it.
Another
They
scandal,
they seeing what you guys like, and then they go for that. It's
Right.
advertising.
Right.
That's all it is.
Right. Well, see, that the idea is that indeed we live in a capitalist society. This is not a socialist society where let's all kumbaya.
Come
no, this
together.
is about what makes money for whoever's driving the train. So in actuality, but it also helps them to shape a culture. All right. And in other words, I'll push the things that keep you from becoming a doctor and lawyer. You know, hanging out on the street. You like that? All right, we'll give you more of that. You know, so now you're not going to stay home and, you know, go into other areas. You know, they have the president. They was like, well, he's not one of us. He's, you know, he's not. He's the birthers say he's not one of us because most black men are not educated and eloquent like that. Yeah. You know, so they saying, well, look, he wasn't bred this way. We didn't. His schools weren't. The schools in the general black community is not going to build presidents. So, you know, he can't be one of us. But, you know, the streets, the way guys have gravitated to the streets, they're making money, you know what I'm saying? And before you know it, people are perpetuating that. They're coming home and they're helping to pay the rent. So mom was like, yeah, just as long as you don't go to jail, you know? You guys got anything on that?
Yeah.
You see any street
Well,
life?
let Kenny see.
As far as the streets going on, like young black men, like they see everything that's going on. They don't see too many like black people, black young men that they could see in the community, look up to. Like, oh, he's going to school, he's doing good, he has a good life. Usually when the guy's going to school, he's going home to living with his mom. Girls, he doesn't really have too much girls. He doesn't have time with girls. But on the other hand, guys who's on the corner selling drugs, they got all the girls, they got all the money, so they tend to slide towards that side.
Yeah, but I would ask you one question. Do you think that there's some accountability, like black men should feel accountable for not doing what they should do, even though there are people out there telling you, there's a message out there telling you school is good, drugs are bad, blah, blah, blah. Do you think?
Yeah, in a way it does.
Should
but
we feel blame or?
Well, when you look at it with your eyes, it's better in the long run to go to school and, you know, have a steady conscience and do the right thing. But it's really easy for a guy to fall and go the wrong way. We see the money and the girls and everything. They want that quick. They want it now.
They don't want to wait, right?
They don't look for.
Well, that brings us to what's going to happen for our brothers in the future. You know, you're looking at a lot of brothers becoming early fathers and.
Yeah.
Their sons and daughters growing up in single-family households without them. You know, all you guys are subject to this, and these are part of the impediments that keep them from. You know, if now you got a kid and you can't, you know, you can't pay for school. Now you got to pay for diapers. You know, these type of things. You know, so it's a reason to look forward to the future and see what can we do to help brothers wake up, shake themselves, get themselves together, you know, and while there's still time, you know, are you ready to be a father, young man? You know, at 16 years old, I know guys that have been fathers.
Yeah, but with that too, some fathers don't even be there for their kids and everything. They might have the kid be there for like 1-2 times and then leave. Go somewhere else, knock up another girl. Like, hey, that's this new, yeah, man, I'm still young, I can do that.
Spread the wealth, right?
Yeah, but that's not always good because in the line, you're gonna have to cut. And one of these times, the father's gonna be like, oh, I know that kid. It's like maybe I can. That's my son. It's like he's big time movie star or something like that. He's gonna try to walk. Say, hey, son. It's like, who are you? I don't know you. You wasn't there for me. How can I help you when you didn't help me? You can turn around and walk back out that door just how you got back in here. You can't just waltz up and back in my life. You can't just do that.
How I feel about fatherhood. Yeah, when you're growing up, if you have a kid at an early age, it kind of delays your process of being a good, going to school and stuff like that. You start worrying about making the fast money, and you don't have a good education. So mostly, you're going to be low-end job, McDonald's or something for a while. Slows you down.
Or stick-up kid, or
Yeah.
selling product on the corner.
Well, I kind of
that's-
disagree. I don't think that fatherhood can be, I understand what you guys are saying, that it can be impediment and stuff like that. But fatherhood can be an immensely joyous occasion.
If you're prepared.
If you're,
If
if you're
you're
prepared,
prepared.
and even if you're not, sometimes. I mean, come on.
It kept me out the streets.
When that happens to me, I think that will be the most important part of my life. Just having someone else to live for. I don't know.
Oh,
Well, the thing is sometimes now personal egos, guys want to, that's sometimes an impediment to move on. Like he was saying, you're on the street, you're making money. Because I know some guys that once they get on the street and they're making a G a night or 500 a night, they can't go to a $10 an hour job. So now they're ruined. Now they can't work. They can't work for nobody. So now they're stuck in the crime life. They're stuck in the life of selling product, and it just takes a lot away from their life to start off like that.
That's like the forbidden fruit, right?
Once it's plucked, it's very hard to put the genie back in the bottle, But these brothers, it's very important that if we could shake these guys up and try to get them to continue to get themselves together.
make them wake up.
Yeah, take the education serious. Fatherhood could be, like he said, like Stephen said, it could be good and bad because it kept me off the streets, but it delayed my education process.
Right. Well, indeed. Well, we're looking forward to seeing the guys start focusing more into these impediments and start, recognizing them, because indeed there is a concerted effort to keep. Look, there's only so many slices to a pie, and black men too long has been getting the slimmest slices of the pie. We're the most ones in jail. We're the most ones without families, So, now it's time for guys to shake up and do something different,
To try to carve a new path.
And very often there are Pied Pipers out there, where that are allowed to lead the rest astray,
Like lambs to the slaughter.
Basically, okay, hip hop is great, but it's not going to put food on the table for everybody.
Not everybody can do it.
Not everybody can do it, but a lot of guys are following it, and they're just going to be waste. They're not going to be successful with what they're doing, and really the success is really about the black American family, because all young men are going to grow up, and hopefully they'll grow up to be a head of a household, not just fodder for the penal system, So I'm hoping that young guys can get together and discuss this issue more, and try to enlighten each other.
But I wonder about personal ego. We talk about that too, in a sense of, what if a person goes out there and does what they do and try to make what they can? Is it, their responsibility to look back on the person? Because, when I think of personal ego, I think, a lot of people think, as a result of being black, you should kind of take your whole nation with you as a result. Even though you
I am my
worked
brother's
hard.
keeper.
Yes.
It's very important to identify. This is the point that on TV you don't see a lot of guys in the position whereby they're productive enough to say, hey, look, this is something to do. You see ball players, you see guys in sports. You may see certain movie stars doing the various roles.
But there are tons of black people. Think of Samuel L. Jackson. People who have black people have permeated all kinds of American society. And it's just that we're not focusing on the ones who are making it by legitimate business means, or we're just, either the media is just focusing on those who are making it in ball playing or.
Right. In other words, they're not pushing these type of issues.
But these issues are out there, though. There
But-
are.
but
There's
some
people out there that make it.
But some of them don't see it that way. They see it as a different way. You're like, because of the ego. It's always you the basic the one person that you need to watch out for is yourself, because you might be your worst enemy.
Exactly.
That's very true. That's very true. Young black males, we have been our worst enemies in the sense that we'll go for things that really aren't productive for life. And for that long haul, for that long stretch. And like I said, you know, we don't have a real history of being able to look further into the future and seeing a good future for ourselves. You know, now we have, you guys got something that I didn't have as I was coming up as in my early teens and late teens and early 20s. I didn't have a real black role model I could look to. You guys got the president. You know, so you know it wasn't like back in my days when we had Medgar Evers who was stopped from going on. You know, and black men knew that even if you had education, you still had to wait for somebody in the power structure to give you something. But now, you know, you guys have a chance, you know, to guys pull up your pants and get yourself together for your families, so you can be productive.
That also too with the families. Most of the families in in most communities, they see their parents getting welfare stuff and everything. That's good, but you can't do that too. I'm not saying you just sitting down on your butt, not working. They just giving you money and you just doing whatever with it. You gotta also
And that's not enough money. Okay,
Yeah,
you need to
you
know
gotta-
that.
you gotta try to
People
get
need to
up
know
and
that that
work.
money is not enough for you to survive.
Well,
You barely make it.
Yeah, and they children look at that and be like, oh, so I'm gonna do that. I'm a
Exactly.
not do this, and I'm gonna sit down, get that check, and do all that, and not work at all.
But that's all part of what I was saying about that managed mentality, where you're not a man, you are a boy because somebody else is determining
How much you're getting.
determining how far you can go. If they know that they're going to only give you a certain amount of money, so you cannot go, you can't do nothing with this. And if you stay there, all you're doing is withering on the vine. When there's a real productive individual there that can be moving on and making things happen for himself and for others. You know, you got to think about yourself and your family. Very too often, young brothers, they grow up with the mentality of thinking about just themselves. If you put something out there bigger than yourself, like your family, your community at large, then you're going to feel the incentive to work for it, you know, and work even more for it. Instead of, you know, before, like I said, there used to be heroin in the community. Now the new dope for young guys is a Benz and a chain, you know, and this is what they aspire to, you know, instead of, and this is what the images they're seeing in videos and different things. You know, you don't see any videos on how to become a
Doctor.
You know, the guys that are running the country.
You know, a lot of people tell me that, you know, just by meeting them and just, you know, even one day I was on a train reading a book, and this lady walked by and she was like, you know you don't read any books, cut it out, you know. I just thought it was like, I kind of do read books. She got off the train and everything, but I felt kind of embarrassed, you know, and everybody looked at me on the train and they went back, they assumed it was the normal, you know, but I wanted to at least say something, say a word or something to get people to know that I at least was, you know, I normally read books. I'm not trying to put any game on, or, you know.
Well, she's looking at you, a typical young black male. They're saying that this is out of the norm for you, you know. And basically what you're supposed to be doing is on the corner selling drugs, you know, or in some handcuffs somewhere, you know what I'm saying?
That's what she sees. That's what's around.